Could a bomb dropped on a city be good for its children? In 1948, Lieutenant Gail Halvorson was a US Army Air Corps pilot assigned to Berlin. Why Berlin? Following the end of World War II, Germany, for post-war reconstruction, was divided into two parts. The western side, that was of the Allies, and the east, that was of the Soviet Union. And in the middle of it was Berlin, that itself was divided into two sectors, East and West Berlin. In June 1948, the Soviets initiated what we now know as the Berlin Blockade. They cut all land routes between Western Germany and Berlin, separating 2 million West Berliners from their daily supply of food and rations. The Allies responded immediately with Operation Whittles, arranging airlifts to supply West Berliners with food and coal. This would become one of the largest ops of its sort. There were nearly 1,000 landings daily, supplying 4,500 tons of supplies. Halvorson was in Berlin as part of this historic op. Though his flight roster was excruciating, Hal decided to take a walk around the Tempelhof airbase. He heard some voices. It sounded like children, and then he noticed them. Along the edge of the runway, in an open space between the bombed-out buildings and barbed wire, about 30 kids were watching the airplanes as they were coming into land. They smiled at him. He dug his hands into his pockets. All he had were 2 sticks of double mint chewing gum that he broke into 4 pieces and handed to them. The kids didn't fight for a piece. Those who got one gently tore the foil and passed it on to the others, who simply held it up to their noses to smell. Hal stood there dumbfounded. "Come back to this exact spot tomorrow, and as I come into land, I'll drop enough gum for all of you." "But how will we know which airplane you're flying, Uncle?" Hal thought about it for a moment. "Just look at the wings. I'll wiggle them, just like I'm waving at you. Wiggly wings." Though against protocol and without permission, he took all his candy rations, Hershey's chocolates and gum, that he tied tightly into 3 bundles, attaching them to handkerchief parachutes. The next day, as he came into land, he noticed the kids in that open space. He wiggled the wings and had his crew chief drop those kerchiefed candy bombs. He was unsure now if they'd gotten them. About 20 minutes later, as Hal taxied for takeoff, he noticed 3 white handkerchiefs being waved wildly amidst cheers from a circle of children. Hal started making those drops of candy bombs every single day without fail, the crowd of youngsters getting bigger with each passing day. Soon, letters from children started flooding the base addressed to Theo Flugelwackler, Uncle Wiggly Wings. Time to be court-martialed, Hal thought to himself. The airlift commander, General William Tunner, instead patted Hal's back. From that day on, every single pilot donated his candy supplies for this cause to Hal. When the American Confectioners Association heard about Hal's drive, they sent over several tons of candy to Berlin. A squadron of 10 planes, flying under codename Operation Little Vittles, was assigned a sole task of dropping an unending supply of candy for the children of Berlin. Over the course of 9 months, Lieutenant Gail Halvorson commanded this mission that started with 2 sticks of gum and went on to deliver a payload of over 23 tons of candy bombs for those children, showing us that not all bombs are bad.